got my prayers reaching the sky so light. Through the struggle, he's my mic. This love unbroken through day and night. Through trials, he's the constant truth.
All right, so
this journey,
so excited about what's going on tonight.
In his mercy, I found my end. In his word, I've grown. No need to slew. Other roaring like tired out. No, I don't find you now. Say by grace in his light, cause I don't say you've been to be as the earth's high. Keep me close, hold me tight. In your holy grace, you be behind. Take him to that place. Keep me close, hold me tight. Never let me stray. Your love me every day. Now I'm in prayer like hallelujah, hallelujah. You know he's my forever, ain't no sneaky link.
All right. Well, I hope everybody's having a great day today. I hope we're having a great day. Today we're gonna talk about what's going on with Logic and what's happening with Logic. And I don't know if you guys have heard that Logic Pro now has 11. It's getting ready to drop in about 7 days. What is it? 5 days? Is it 13th? 13th, right? 13th, 14th, 13th, 13th. May 13th, Logic Pro 11 drops. May 13th. It's a new official Logic. Now, we've been on X for a long time. I think X dropped about 2013, 2014. It's been on X a long time. I remember when going from X, I was leaving, I wasn't really a huge fan of Logic 9. So I was kind of messing around with Reasons, Cubase, and Pro Tools. And then Logic X dropped. And when X dropped, it was like, oh, snap. This is crazy, right? And I was like, oh, that's the one. That's the one for me. But I was so excited now that we get a chance to go to Logic 11. And I don't know if you guys heard the news today where they did I call it the iPad show of Apple today. They did the release today. And they released the new iPads. And when I saw the new iPads, they did a section on Logic Pro on the iPad. Now, y'all know the new iPads is running the M4 chip. And we may do a review on that. Think about getting one. We may do a review on that coming soon. Really think about getting one. But what the real thing was that I saw when they ran the iPad, they were doing the iPad advertisement, they showed the Logic Pro. And when they showed the new Logic Pro, they started talking about the features in the new Logic Pro that you can actually do on the iPad. I said, oh, snap. They're definitely going to put that on Logic. I said, okay, so it's Logic 10. Now, we know now we're up to what? Logic 10.8. We're up to 10.8 in Logic right now. So it's kind of high. You know, it's kind of up there. So we're at a Logic 10.8 now, 10.8.1, something like that, right? So for us, it's getting about time to get the Logic 11. It's time to get the Logic 11. So it was really good to see the news and see the press clippings are going to Logic 11. So let's go ahead and show you what was said. And one second, I think it drops 13th. I think it drops on Monday. So Monday, look forward to drop. And let's see what happens, what it was talking about. What it was talking about Logic 11 and everything here. So let's open up our website here and show you exactly what it was talking about in Logic 11 here. So here we go. All right, there we go. Now, if you look here at Logic 11, Logic Pro, powerful, creative, smarter than ever. And you know, everybody's been kind of going on the AI situation. Everybody's AI this, AI that, AI everything. So AI is being like something that's really, really huge. That's really kind of caught the tech industry by storm, taking the tech industry by storm. Now, we already know about AI music and what's going on with Suno, audio, different things like that. Also, other AI situations that's happened. But when they showed the Logic thing, they showed it a couple things that really, really jumped out at me. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not all. Y'all know Logic is always, Apple is always updating Logic with new and great technology and things of that nature. All the time they're bringing more technology and more things to Apple and Logic Pro. Now, the new Logic Pro that drops this week is powerful, smarter than ever, powerful creative tools, professional songwriting, beat-making, editing, and mixing, integrated Dolby Atmos. Y'all know that's a big thing, spatial audio, a mass collection of plugins, sound control, music making, sessions for your iPad, iPhone, Logic Remote, call session players. Now this is a new thing, the session players for realistic keyboard, bass, or drum performances that jam on your song. From warming up your tracks to mastering your mix, you got powerful tools here. Augment your artistry. All right. Now you see here, you got the session players, and I think this is a big deal. I think it's okay. All right, I'm not really a huge. Let me say this. I did use Drummer a little bit. Every now when it first came out, it was pretty cool, But kind of when I got done with it, it was like it's all good. It's all good. All right. So you get here, but now they kind of expanded drums to go now to what they call session players that group with you. Session players can sit in on any song that take your direction on the fly while laying down realistic bass line, keyboard accompaniments, and drum grooves. So I think this is a big deal with Logic. Try to take it and do kind of augment reality where you can have your own band playing with you. If you don't have the ability or the finances to hire your own session musicians, right? Or if you don't play every instrument, like some of us do, okay? But this seems cool. If you really, really get it close to it, get a close look into it, and the session musician you see here, you have, it looks like a compatibility, intensity. It looks like you have different sequences for each one. And this one here, I think it's a guitar, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the guitar, if I'm not mistaken, or bass. So, yeah, this is the bass. This is the bass that you have here. So you got different things. You got flanger. You got different things that you can use, different EQs, and different things like that. Studio bass, yep, that is. Studio bass. So it seems as if it's some things that we definitely can do. It seems like you can personalize the track, kind of like drummer, kind of like what you can do with drummer. You can use different basses, you use different drummers, and then kind of tune it to your liking, to what you like. So this is pretty cool. And y'all know Apple's always like coming after, like, y'all remember the what was it, the Dragon? What was the company, small company that kind of had where you could play it had the AI bass player with you. You can incorporate bass lines. It seems like Logic is doing this, and they're incorporating where you can have session musicians in it. So it looks like you have a bass player here. You can have a keyboard player there, and then what it looks like is that it looks like it's creating. I guess that's MIDI audio. It looks like it's MIDI audio. I mean, it looks like it's MIDI, but it's kind of audio too. So that's interesting. I guess it's audio. Realistic keyboard accompaniments for your songs. Direct the player's general complexity, intensity, and range, or go deeper into feel, voice, and movement. See here, left hand, right hand. They got full chords, so it seems like you can change the chords, the progressions, the keys, and everything. So that's kind of dope. Okay, I mean, I'm definitely gonna play around with it because it could be something that if you get mixed up, or if you kind of get have a block, or you're looking for inspiration, this could be something that can add inspiration. Or if you already have kind of riff or something that you can add these sessions in. And we already had session drummer that was here. That was pretty cool. Create drum grooves, hard hitting trap, raw alternative rock. That you can direct powerful controls, produce drummer in real time, including intensity, complexity, and feels. So this is pretty cool. There now we already kind of had drummer already, so that was already kind of shown in Logic before what we have now in 10.8. And of course, you have studio bass, the one that we just was working with. Choose for six history, defining bass guitar instruments for your bass part. Invite session player to lay down the ultra realistic bass line, customize the sound with wide range of tone control, including scrapes and string noises. So it's interesting. So this seems like it's more of the plug-in and changing the sounds, and you equate the sounds with the bass player, and now you can change the sounds to go with bass player. So then, okay, so now it has new instrument, Studio Grand, and then Chord Track. Now y'all know Chord Track has been around for a minute because we had Chord Track on Cubase, and Cubase has Chord Track where you can actually set up the chords and things of that nature. And y'all know Logic is always copy from each other, right? They always take ideas, they great ideas, I guess, to make it their own. But Cubase has had Chord Track for years, probably since what, Cubase 5? Was it Cubase 5? Did they start chord track at Cubase 5? Maybe 7? Something like, no, it wasn't 5. It had to be like 7 or 8. But chord track has been around for a while for Cubase. So this is but it's pretty cool to have this now come into Apple and be something that's on Apple Logic also. So that's pretty dope that's going on there. So this is the big deal right here. With they call it Session players. It seems like you have a lot of control. You can start with chords. Now, will it be as in depth as Cubase chord track? I don't know, because Cubase chord track, you literally can sit there and play the chords, and while you're playing the chords and while you're doing the chords and playing the chorus like that, Cubase will actually tell you what you're playing, and then they'll put it. They'll show the put at the top of the screen up in this area right here. And I guess they kind of go to two because you can kind of see the chord progressions that's going to F to B, C, whatever. But with Cubase, you can actually play the chords if you're a piano player or if you did or whatever. You can play the chords and it automatically follows your rhythm. You can actually put a MIDI track in there or use a software instrument when you're playing piano and drag the MIDI up to your chord track, and it'll automatically detect what chords you're playing based upon your MIDI track. So this would be cool. If Logic is able to do that, this would be cool with the chord track. It seems like they have the new layout already out here with the chord track. Now, all right, so this is pretty cool. Now, how do y'all feel about Logic UI? I'm not a huge fan of. I like it. It's streamlined. It's cool. It's not cluttered. But I think it's becoming. I know they're trying to make it where it's interchangeable with the iPad and the UI. Making it interchangeable with the iPad and M4. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but it's a little simplistic. It looks a little simplistic, but it's still beautiful. It's nice. It's streamlined. I like it. I think they could have changed the UI a little bit, but in Logic 11 made it a little bit different. But it's cool. I guess it works. All right. So then after you have that, you have your own personal studio assistants. Powerful tools always ready for augmenting your artistry, whether it's learning how to mix or warming up your mix. And it seems like augmenting has been the word that they're using a couple of times already with here. You know what I'm saying? So making sure that you can mix. Now, is this going to be kind of like Ozone where they have now they did release in 10.8. They did release the mastering assistant where you can master on the master track. So they did do that. So I'm wondering if this is gonna be kind of like Ozone with something like where they have like a studio systems where they help you with the mixes and different thing. They listen to it and then they have the studio assistant goes from that. That'd be cool if they had that. They add that. That's cool. I think Apple's coming for everyone's neck on that. if that Apple adds that, it's gonna be cool. Now, would this be like Neutron or what I'm saying? Would it be like that where the assistant listens and then it kind of brings the EQ and everything? That'd be cool. Now let's see what it says. Split nearly all right. But it starts with the big one. Your personal studio system. This is new. Powerful tools that are always ready to augmenting your artistry, whether it's learning how to mix, warming up the mix, or whichever. And it starts with something that I think is big. Now all the DAWs are starting to do this. We know Fruity Loops has already done it. MPC has already done it. So it's pretty cool. Cubase does it. They do theirs a little bit differently. Cubase does theirs with what's the name of the joint? What did Cubase use? Spatial layers. So Cubase uses spatial layers. So they do there a little bit differently with spatial layers, which is actually a private entity on its own. But spatial layers Cubase is Cubase separator, which is really good. I like spatial layers. It's really cool. Now it seems like as if Logic is starting off with their stem separator. Don't seem like it's as in depth. Like I said, they're a little behind. They're catching up. It's almost like Logic is playing catch up. Right? Now they're not as behind as somebody like Pro Tools. Pro Tools kill me. Pro Tools be like 3, 4, or 5 years behind me. Like, oh, no, new thing is still separated. You're like, what the heck? Fruit Loops are still separated. Let me 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it is. But here we go. They have the new stem separated, but they call it stem splitter. Split nearly any mixed audio recording into 4 distinct parts: drum, bass, vocals, and other instruments. Recover inspiration from old demo recordings or unfinished ideas from voice memos. With tracks separated, it's easy to apply effects, change the mix, or layer on new parts. Now, we got to hear how this sounds to see if it's as good as something like Spectral Layers or Fader X or whatever you use to La La Lay, whatever you use to do your stem separation. We got to see if it's as good as MPC stems. We really have to see if it's as good as either one of these. But this is a pretty big deal. This is a pretty big deal when you sit here and you do stem separation and having stem separation and Logic. I have an MPC Akai MPC 61 here that has stem separation in here, and that's been a big deal. Now I think a lot of stuff that you're hearing, even like with the Drake and Kendrick Lamar disc, I think stem separation played a huge role in some of the stuff, the beats and stuff that you heard here. So this is pretty cool for them to have stem separation to be able to separate the stems and have everything going. And now in Logic, now you don't have to bring in something like a Fader X that had a plugin or use a Spectral Layers or a third party plugin. It's built in Logic, something where it seems like I said again, it seems like Logic is kind of catching up a little bit with FL Studio. It's kind of catching up a little bit with Cubase. It's kind of catching up catching up with those that have these type of advances in their software and their DAW already. So it's just like Logic say, okay, all right, we're gonna catch up. We're gonna catch it with Logic 11. So they're gonna have the stem splitter, which is Logic stem separator. And right now you can separate it into it looks like vocals, drums, bass, and other. So that's the basic. Now it's interesting because something like Fader X drops it all the way down. We can do all the instruments like trumpet, but that's that pro account where you gotta pay $10 a month or $100 a year. I really like Fader X. That's why. La La Lay, I think La La Lay is going where they can separate more. Now this is the basis. This is what something like Spectral Layers would do in Spectral Layers 9. But now in Spectral Layers 10, they've added guitar and others. So like this is a basic voices, drums, bass, other. It's pretty cool to have this in Logic. Those who Logic Pro to have it all in one and not to have to spend $10, $15 on something else. That's pretty cool. Let's go to the next one. So the stem separator. We want to see how it sounds though. We're gonna see how it sounds. If it sounds as good as like La La Lay, if it sounds as good as Fader X, if it sounds as good as Spectral Layers 1, we'll see how it sounds if it sounds as good as the rest of the stem separators that are out there now. But this is pretty cool that it's now involved in Logic X. All right, then you have Chroma, the new plugin, at Texture Tubes. It's more like a saturator. Texture Tubes, tape, and other coveted analog hardware to bring more depth and color to your tracks. So this is a new plugin called Chroma Glow, right? So it's plugin sources. Let's see. Modern 2, Colorfur, got the hertz, levels, output, Q, mix. Okay. So it looks like it has frequency response. You can change the frequencies on its slopes, frequency resources. So that's pretty cool. Pre-post, that's dope. All right, so that's what they have there. So that's going pretty good there. So what you're having here is it seems like Logic is trying to get some pro plugins, which they always had great plugins. All right, pitch correction, which they are actually made which came with 10.8. The changes in the pitch correction, when they changed the UI, gave it a different look. We got the harmony scale, the resonance. They made it more like, Auto-Tune, Antares Auto-Tune. Looks more like Antares Auto-Tune in this one. It's pretty cool. You can bypass notes, different things like that. I really enjoy this. I use this just about on every song, so it's pretty cool to have this built in. And I actually like, to be honest, people don't know. Like they be like, "Well, you have a sound." This Auto-Tune, this pitch correction is not Auto-Tune because Auto-Tune is, you know what I'm saying. But now it's using AI to intelligently track pitch to help deliver perfect pitch and natural sounding. Now I think this is huge because this is gonna go back to a little bit later when we get into it, where now it can detect the track, what key you're in, and then you have the chord and everything. This would be cool if you can actually automate different chords and different things to have the pitch and the root note of the pitch change for different chords if you change the key of the song or whatever. That'll be cool if they have that in there. Logic's gonna be looking. So we're gonna be looking forward to see what happens in that. Next, then of course we got the Master and Assist. Like I said, this came I think in 10.8, 10.7. Master Assist is something that we've already have. I love this. It's pretty cool. If you're not really cool in mastering, the AI kind of does a great job of analyzing, mastering. Of course, you can go ahead and make changes to the character, the sound, the width. All those things are there. Also, the good cool thing about the LUTs over here, so y'all know if you're going to Spotify or Apple Music, you want to be -12 or -13, whichever one. So you can be competitive with the other people and other artists, the bigger name artists that may have a little bit more too. You kind of can be competitive with that. So I appreciate that a lot. So let's keep going. Smart tempo. Now this is cool too. Now you see here, you have the grid here with the smart tempo, stay in sync and tempo, an AI-driven collection of tools that let you record mix without worrying about tempo. Produced like a DJ, a smart tempo analyzes important audio and magically syncs it to the project tempo using flex time. and go ahead, record guitar with a metronome. Without a metronome, Smart Tempo can always analyze your recording and make the project tempo follow the natural timing of your performance. I think this has been here also. This has been here as well. Now, my question is it as good as some of the others? Now, my issue is this. Normally in Logic, and I could be wrong. Let me say this. I could be wrong. This is my workflow, so I could be wrong. And some of you guys are better at Logic than I am. Normally in Logic, my only issue is a lot of times when you come, it's already in monophonic. It's not in polyphonic, right? So we know, in order to be able to warp the time and time stretch it, you want to make sure, you change it, was it from monophonic to polyphonic, right? So, I think you can do this in your settings, if I'm not mistaken. I think you can. Okay, if I'm wrong, y'all let me know in the chat if I'm wrong on that. But I think you can do this in your settings also. But this is a pretty cool Smart Tempo, and I think Smart Tempo has already been there. That's been there for a while too. Spatial Audio, that's been there for a while. Take your sound beyond. I think they came in 10.7, maybe 10.8. Beyond and above. Welcome to the next generation of sound. It's never been easier to go beyond stereo. So Spatial Audio is there. Dolby Atmos is a big deal. Shout out, we're building my Dolby Atmos studio. We're actually starting to get things going. Electrician is coming to getting started on our Dolby Atmos studio coming up. So we're really excited about this. And I have it already built in. I have it as something that's already in Logic. Is really cool. This is really dope. And I think if you use Pro Tools, you have to pay extra, like $100 extra to get it. That's kind of crazy. But it's really cool to have this already in Logic and already built in. Mix and export your song and as Dolby Atmos Spatial Audio file ready for Apple Music. This is pretty cool too. Now, what I'm hoping this is saying that you can mix, export, and have it in Dolby Atmos. So when you upload it to Apple Music, before you actually put it on a DSP, you can hear how it sounds in Apple Music, and that's cool. That's always good to be able to sit there and to test your mix, test your master, and make sure that it sounds the way you want to. Take it to the car, play it in the speaker system, play in the surround sound. If you have a spatial audio studio, play it in there. If you got the headphones, Apple AirPods, or AirPod Pros, you can listen to that. Make sure it sounds the way you want to sound. That's always a plus, and that's always one thing I loved about Apple, being that they have been the leader so far in Dolby Atmos and spatial audio. Apple has definitely been in front of this and one of the first one to jump on. It's their surround sound mixer, 3D object panner. That's pretty cool. Spatial audio also plugins, enhance the spatial audio. So they're all in the spatial audio. Like I said, expose Dolby Atmos mixes ready for Apple Music. Export your project as a Dolby Atmos file compatible with Apple Music. That's pretty cool. Like I said, now you can listen to your track, make sure it sounds the way you want to track, make sounds, go back, make change, remix it, remaster it, put it out again, and see if it makes sure it sounds the way you want to sound. So that's really good. Now they said they have sound pads. This has always been a part. Actually, this really for a lot of people, this really what makes Logic special and better than a lot of other DAW. It's the amount of sounds and the amount of sound pads and how great and fantastic they sound. And you will hear a lot of these sound pads and samples in popular music today. You don't know how many songs are like, oh, that's a Logic sample. I'm like, yo, that's Logic all day. They're like, how you know? Like, man, listen, I played that just last night. It's a Logic sample. You'd be surprised how many people use that. Their samples, they have one of the best sample pads and sound pads out of any DAW that's out there. Out of any DAW. Logic Remote, Touch Flow. Now, this is interesting too. I saw this with this, and I'm trying to hurry us not to make it too long. Logic Remote, Touch Flow. This is interesting too to go along with the iPad, your iPhone, Logic Remote. I'm used to using Logic Remote. I've been using Logic Remote since, 2014, when it first came out, 2015, maybe 15, 16, Logic Remote came out. So I've been using it for a while. It's a pretty cool thing. Normally I use it as mixing. I like having the faders up and having the touchscreen mix with the touchscreen. I love that. So Logic Remote, iPad, Mac, use multi-touch gestures to play software instruments, mix, control features like live loops, remix, FX, anywhere in the room. Now, remix FX is really cool too, using on the iPad or the cell phone, because if you're trying to do like your if you're trying to do the two filters and things at the same time, it's hard to do that. It's almost impossible to do that with a mouse. So you have to automatically do it and then come back and automatically do it again. Now with this, you kind of can do it with 2 fingers, maybe even 3 fingers, and make the changes and adjustments that you want to use if you're running both of the filters at the same time. This is pretty cool. So I do like Logic Remote, and I do use it. It is a part of my workflow, and a lot of people say it's part of their workflow too. All right, live loops. Not really a huge fan. A lot of people use it. I don't like it. Not a huge fan. I'm more of a I'm on the board. I'm playing. All right, so multi-touch, like I said, mixing. Yep, that's why I love the iPad. I've been doing that for years. This is what I'm used to right there. Um, Key commands. That's also you can also this is all iPad stuff here. This is all iPad. You can do all this on iPad, pretty much iPad. And you can do this in Logic too, but this is iPad. I don't know if they bring it. Are they bringing this to Logic 2 to have key commands, sounds, key commands? Because the whole thing is now making it where they both intertwine together. So you never know. Sequence your beats, patterns with all quick finger. Yeah, no, this all iPad stuff. iPad composition and performances. Your studio is always in session. Logic Pro turns your Mac into a professional recording studio, able to handle the most demanding projects, create, arrange music quickly. Now, this is why I love Logic. Logic is intuitive enough where if you know GarageBand, you pretty much can get around in Logic. Now, it's gonna be some things that you gotta, it's a little different. It's a little bit more complicated, but it's intuitive enough where if you worked in GarageBand, you kind of come around Logic. Really, if you worked in any DAW, you kind of can learn Logic. That's why I think a lot of people have really come over to Logic and become Logic Pro users because of the intuitiveness and everything there is at your fingertips, right? So if you kind of low, you can come from Pro Tools and come to Logic, and it's not a huge learning difference. For some, if you get your brain around it, if you're used to it, I like using a whole bunch of DAWs because of creative things. I get blocks, and I get tired of working in something like Logic, so I go to Cubase and work and try to get some creative juices, or maybe Pro Tools and try to get some creative juices, or maybe something else. But Logic is always my go-to when it comes to music production. Now, I hope they worked on the codecs when you're mixing it down to make it sound a little bit better, a little bit crispier. You know what I'm saying? I still think the codecs and the mix down of Pro Tools is way better than anything else out there. That's why everybody uses Pro Tools. That and the easy use, and people are used to it. But I think it just sounds better in Pro Tools. That's just me personally. I heard Timbaland even said recently that Logic sounded thin to him, and that was Tim. I was like, oh Tim. But it's people that can get busy in Logic. I'm one of the ones that I kind of think I figured out how to get busy in Logic, how to mix it, how to get it where to get it sound full and sound like I'm working in NPC or something like that. But it's a lot of people that have said that they're not a huge fan of how Logic sounds. So seamless punch recording, automatic takes, and then support pristine 2492 192 audio. Makes it easy to do on Duo. You can do all that. 1,000 stereo, stereo sound, software instruments, and run 100. So it's really good. Get the most out of your MIDI. I think Logic, that's really the big thing with Logic that a lot of people don't know. It's one of the best production tools when you talk about MIDI speed. Like I said, intuitiveness. Logic is that. That's Logic all day. That's why people use Logic. That's why I fell in love with Logic. All right, live loops, not really a cool thing. Not into step recording. Not really me too, but some people love it. They get into it. Also now they're having Novation Launchpad, Live Off the Grid, get hands on with super talented experience. So it looks like they work with Novation and Remix FX. We talked about it a little bit earlier, how you can use that, and how it really works well with iPad. So these tools are really coming in, and I think Logic is really gonna come. Oh wow, it's almost 30 minutes in the video. We're gonna try to get out of here. Industry leading tools. I think it's an industry leading thing. I'm excited to see what happens in the new Logic that's dropping. I think it's Monday. I think it's Monday the 13th. I think it's Monday the 13th. Just dropping industry leading tools, create new ones. Drum tracks, mix, match, stay in tempo, all this stuff. Flex time, flex pitch, all this stuff has been here. All this track stats. Love track stats. Track stats is cool. If you don't know track stats is kind of like a track stack is really it's like bus, like using bus. It's like busting it out. It's an easy way, quick way to bust out. Love track stats. Use it all the time. Track alternatives. Now this is real cool too. When you're recording and you want to switch between different tracks, multiple tracks, switch between them at any time, audition different options, create, store. That's pretty cool. Love track alternative track, project alternates. Now this one came out, I think, in 10.8 too, where you can do different tracks, have different tracks in whatever version of the project you like. It's your own name settings and all those things. So you can load different versions to make changes without compromising the original. That's pretty cool. The VCA faders, managing large. Another thing, it works very well with Logic works very well with motorized faders that you may have hands-on tactile with it. So they're pretty cool working with those also. Easy capture, automation. It's really cool. And like I said, this is the thing that Logic does that a lot of people don't know. All this comes in the box, music notation, music and sound for picture, exporting, bouncing, all that is what you expect in a very nice DAW. But graduate from GarageBand. If you're in GarageBand and you've been using GarageBand, The next step is Logic. It's only $200. It's kind of like a no-brainer. It's probably for the price point. It's definitely, without doubt, 0%. I dare you to say you have another DAW that's better for $199, and you keep getting the upgrades. Cool thing about this, the new Logic 11, I think that's what they're calling it, a new Logic Pro, is free if you already have a Logic 10. It's a free upgrade. If you already have Logic 10, if you already have Logic on iPad, you get Logic Pro 2 on iPad, you get Logic Pro 11 on the Mac, and it is a free. Everybody say free 99. Y'all know what we love. It's a free situation on iPad where it's really dope. So if you guys get a chance, man, check out Logic. Really excited about this release. Really excited about what's coming. Listen, it's gonna be dope. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I know I'm gonna enjoy it. And we'll do more of a review when it actually drops. So listen, you guys be good. How y'all feel? Let me know. Leave in the comment. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. Leave in the comment what you guys feel. How do you guys feel about the new Logic? The stem separation, are you excited about it? Is it a little bit too late? You know what I'm saying? We want to see how it sounds. I know I'm excited about it. I want to see how it sounds, how it goes. There's a lot of good changes that's coming on. Session, all those things. So listen, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Try to get these numbers up on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? I love your boy. Hit the subscribe. Y'all watching it, but you ain't subscribed. You gotta subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. We'll be back with more King Joe. When it drops, review. Peace.